What's going on, plugins? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the players that Kentucky has contacted in the transfer portal. Before we get into this video, make sure you drop a like. And if you're new here, sub to the channel and become a part of the family. Now let's get into the video. We are officially in the all season for Kentucky. They had a great season beating a bunch of teams that was ranked in the AP top 15. They finished 6th in the SEC and they made it all the way to the Sweet 16. Before the season started, nobody expected Kentucky to be as good as they were and make it that far in the NCAA Tournament. So Mark Pope has had a great season in year one and he has set a nice foundation for Kentucky basketball moving forward. Now it's time to make moves in the transfer portal. Kentucky has a lot of holes to fill. Most of their players on the roster being in their last year. Basically, their whole starting five is going to be gone besides Otega Owe. Now, Otega Owe could enter the NBA draft. I doubt he's going to enter the transfer portal. So if he does enter the NBA draft, Mark Pope is going to have to replace him. I know most Kentucky fans are hoping he stays. He was the team's leading scorer. So Mark Pope is going to be adding a lot of players to the roster like he did this past season. The biggest need for Kentucky is getting a point guard, and they need some bigs. Getting some power forwards and centers in the transfer portal has to be one of the biggest needs. They already have some solid guards on the team like Otega Owe, Travis Perry, Trent Noah, and Colin Chandler are going to have bigger roles. And they have Jasper Johnson and Ken Lewis, who are guards in the 2025 recruiting class. And they have Malachi coming in, who's a 7-foot center. He might have a big role during his freshman season. So I see Kentucky adding 2 or 3 guards and trying to get a bunch of forwards and centers. Mark Pope has reached out to a lot of players, and he already secured his first player from the transfer portal. Cam Williams, a 6'8" freshman from Tulane, has decided to transfer to Kentucky. This is what he said on why he picked Kentucky. Not too many people get opportunities like this, so I wanted to pull the trigger fast. More people are waiting to fill that spot, so I had to take advantage. My dream is to play in the NBA. Kentucky's culture and background shows they care about their players, especially developing them to the best players they can be. During his freshman season, he averaged 9.3 points, 4.5 rebounds, 1 block, 1.3 steals, and he shot 48.5% from the field and 41% from 3. Cam Williams is considered one of the best 3-point shooters in the transfer portal. He'll be a 3-and-D type of player. It's always good to have those type of players on your roster. With his size, athleticism, shot-making ability, and being a solid defender, he's going to be really good for Kentucky next season. Mark Pope will have him for 3 seasons, so we have a chance to develop him. He could be a star for Kentucky by his junior season. I'm excited to see how he's going to do. Now let's get into the players that Kentucky has contacted. First, let's talk about Thomas, who's considered one of the top point guards in the transfer portal. He played for UNLV. He averaged 15.6 points, 2 rebounds, 4.7 assists. He shot 41% from the field and 35% from 3. He's a little undersized being 6'1", but he's a great playmaking scoring point guard. He's a good finisher around the rim. He has great body control and quickness to finish over taller defenders when he's driving to the rim. He can make tough floaters and pull up jump shots. And he's an accurate passer, especially when he's driving. He's good at throwing lob passes and bounce passes to bigs in the paint. Kentucky might be making him a top priority after they lost out on Donovan Dent to UCLA. Kentucky was looked at as the favorites, and that was his dream school, so I thought he was going to end up there, but his asking price was around $3 million, so maybe Kentucky didn't want to pay that. So now that he's off the table, they might be going all in on a player like Thomas. I expect Kentucky to make a hard push for him. Lamar Wilkinson's a 6'5" shooting guard. During the season at Sam Houston, he averaged 20.5 points, 4 rebounds, 2.1 assists. He shot 47.7% from the field and 44.5% from 3. He scored in double figures in all 31 games and 20 or more points in 17 games. He's considered as one of the best scorers in the transfer portal. Mark Pope adding a player who's averaging 20 a game and shooting almost 45% from 3 will be a nice addition to the team, and pairing him with Otega Owe will be a scary duo. I would love to see that backcourt. Mugungwa is a 7-foot center. During his freshman season at San Diego State, he averaged 8.5 points, 5.2 rebounds, 0.7 assists. He shot 50.6% from the field and 37.8% from 3. He can stretch the floor and knock down shots, and to do that at his size is pretty crazy. He will help them on defense being a shot blocker. He had 12 games with at least 3 blocks. Kentucky should try to get him by any means. This would be one of the best pickups. They really need a big and get an athletic 7-foot center who moves smooth on the court and can knock down shots on the perimeter. This would be a perfect match for Mark Pope. I know some Kentucky fans are out there thinking, this sounds cool, but we need a big body bruiser down low, which is true. Kentucky can still get that type of player in the transfer portal, but getting someone like this with a high ceiling is something they can't pass up on. 6'9" forward from Robert Morris. During his sophomore season, he averaged 14.1 points, 9.1 rebounds, 3.2 assists. He shot 54.8% from the field and 41.3% from 3. He was Horizon Player of the Year. He's a GOAT ball handler, passer, finisher around the rim, and he's an elite rebounder. and he's a nice catch and shooter. He'll be a nice replacement for Andrew Carr, so that's another player I expect Kentucky to make a hard push for. Right now, as things stand, Kentucky is looked at as one of the favorites, so hopefully they can get him. Alex Steen is a 6'8" forward who was a superstar at the Division II level. He played for Florida Southern. During his sophomore season, he averaged 18.2 points, 11.5 rebounds, 1.1 assists, and 2.6 blocks per game. Then he shot 56.2% from the field and 28.6% from three. He won back-to-back Sunshine State Defensive Player of the Year, and he was first team all-conference. He's going to be a great two-way star. On offense, he'll be a good lob threat and a scorer in transition. He's good at creating his own shot. He has good footwork, and he loves using a step-back pull-up jump shot to create space from defenders. He's not the best three-point shooter. He's not bad, but he needs to improve that part of his game. But mid-range jumpers and getting to the rim is his biggest strength. And on defense, he'll be an elite shot blocker. He has good recovery ability. If someone blows by him to get to the rim, he can still get a block, and he should be able to guard multiple positions. Mark Pope getting a two-way player like this would be a nice pickup, but a lot of Division I schools have reached out to him, so it's going to be hard to get him. He's going to have a lot of options. Elijah Freeman was also a superstar at Division II level. During his freshman season at Lincoln Memorial, the 6'8" power forward averaged 19.3 points, 9.1 rebounds, 2.4 assists. He shot 57.8% from the field and 46.3% from three. He had a career high 36 points. From the games I've seen, I couldn't believe he was a Division II player. He looks like a Division I player. He's an explosive athlete, great ball handler, great shot creator. It seemed like he was a late bloomer. He was unranked coming out of high school, but now he's looking like an elite player. He plays with a good pace. None of his stuff is rushed. He knows how to get to his spots and get to a bucket, and he does it with ease. Watching him play is like he makes a defense play to his pace, if that makes sense. He looks so smooth out there. Also, he's a great shot blocker, and he gets in the lanes well to get steals. The colleges that are pursuing him the most are Kentucky, Tennessee, and Dayton. During an interview with KSR, he said this about Kentucky: "I've definitely been growing up watching Kentucky play since I was a little kid. It's one of the top schools in the country." So as a kid, he loved watching Kentucky play, and he has a chance to put the jersey on and play for them. He has 3 years of eligibility left. He has a high ceiling. He could develop into a star. Keyshawn Hall is a 6'7" guard. During his junior season at UCF, he averaged 18.8 points, 7.1 rebounds, 2.4 assists. He shot 42.7% from the field and 35.4% from three. He was UCF's leading scorer, and he led the Big 12 in scoring. He's the type of player you can just put the ball in his hands, and he's going to find a way to get a bucket. A lot of SEC schools have reached out to him, and I believe that's where he's going to end up at. Also, Kansas is making a hard push for him. Kentucky might have a real chance here. It hasn't been reported that Kentucky will have a Zoom meeting with him on Monday. If Kentucky can somehow get him, that'll give him a big boost on offense. I can see him being a starter and making a big impact right away. Silas Demery Jr., who's a 6'5" guard. During his sophomore season at Georgia, he averaged 13.5 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 3.1 assists. He shot 39.6% from the field and 37.4% from three. He's great at getting to the rim. He has improved a lot from his freshman season to his sophomore season when it comes to his three-point shooting. He's also a solid defender. He gives a lot of effort, and he's really locked in. Kentucky recently had a home visit with him, and it went well. McKenzie's a 6'9" forward. During his sophomore season at Indiana, he averaged 12.2 points, 4.6 rebounds, 1.1 assists, and he shot 43.7% from the field and 32.9% from three. He's an athletic player who can do a little bit of everything on the court. Coming out of high school, he's a 5-star recruit and McDonald's All-American. He was being recruited by Kentucky coming out of high school, so it'd be cool if he ended up playing for them. He would be a solid rotational player. Taylor was a 6'10" forward. During his sophomore season at Florida State, he averaged 8 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 1.5 blocks. He shot 47.7% from the field and 41.4% from three. Kentucky recently had a Zoom meeting with him, and it went well. Adding a player like him will give Kentucky some depth at the forward position. He has size, can knock down threes, and he can get to the rim, and he's a good shot blocker. So Kentucky has reached out to a bunch of talented players. Hopefully they can add some players that I mentioned in this video. They're going to have to be real active in the transfer portal because they do have a lot of holes to fill. Who do you think Kentucky will add from the transfer portal? Drop the names in the comments, drop a like on the video, and sub to the channel. I'm working on more transfer portal videos, so make sure you turn on post notifications. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.